I managed to just, it could be a true story, it could be a made up story. But I'm SV Dagon, and you who listen to this, I'll let you decide which is correct or which is incorrect, which is true, which is a lot of BS or just a normal story or another story. I've located in audio form on my website. A few years ago I used to go camping a lot throughout Dartmoor. And I got to hear a rumour which even to this day I'm not quite sure if it's real. I know the guy as Bob Gently, and it's completely opposite to what he really is. He didn't like hitchhikers, and I used to thumb myself around Dartmoor a lot, as I do in Scotland. That's what I'm doing at the moment. Well, not exactly that, because I'm laying down telling you this story while laying on white leather sofa in a very quiet B&B somewhere in North US or was it South US? I can never know the difference. Well, the story about Bob Gently is quite simple as this. He loathed those people who thumbed the lift, so it was logical for you to encounter him eventually. But on the day I'm supposed to get into his Range Rover, his dilapidated Range Rover, as if he just bought it from some junk dealer that they got it from their great-grandfather from the First World War and done it up to look like a Second World War. Now it's a mess. Luckily for me, he had two dogs in the back, and they were barking like two corrupt politicians, arguing on who should allow them to cheat on their expenses and not be sent to prison for it. I do love metaphors. So I politely said, no thank you, I'm not looking for a lift. And he drove off. Then 2 days later I found out what he actually does. He specifically goes to the local pharmacy, buys a couple of packs of Ex-Laxes, mounts them down, and when he picks someone up early in the morning that's obviously hitchhiking, he offers them a nice hot flask of hot chocolate to set them on their way when he drops them off after he's taken for a few miles. I said, well, thank you very much, you're very kind, much appreciated. So when I get to their destination, they drink the hot chocolate, which is really a mixture of hot chocolate and Ex-Lax. And by the time it's affected their insides, it explodes out of their bottom, in a sense, or their ass, and all inside their sleeping bag. Now this Bob Gently enjoyed this. It wasn't very nice for the sufferer. So I thought to myself, what can I do to help those that have been tricked by Bob Gently's nice hot chocolate? I thought, nah, I won't do anything. But I will place a mischievous, naughty pixie to follow him for at least a month. And as that time he offered me the lift and I said no, because I'm 6'4", I was able to see what's in the bag apart from the two dogs. It looked like fly fishing gear. So obviously he has good eyesight and enjoys fly fishing, whether legally or illegally. He's probably a poacher, but that's neither here or there. So I instructed Pixie to affect his eyesight. And when you give a Pixie a job to do this, they tend to overstep their mark. They have to fund themselves with this human victim. And so the nice thing about it is that the little Pixie followed him to the local river where he'd done fly fishing. And because she started to get to know him very, very well, better than he knew himself, and yes, it is a female pixie, they can be even more devious. She tugged at the line that was connected to the hook and a poor worm inside the river below the surface. I know I have an unusual way of describing things. He realised, wow, he got a big bite. It's a shark, he says to him. He keeps tugging and tugging, reeling, fighting it, struggling with it. And because the pixie is pulling the line, he gets closer and closer to deep water. But the point is, because the pixie has been affecting his eyes and his eyesight, all of a sudden his eyesight becomes blurry and he can't quite see. So he trips and falls over. Srash, right into the river. It's a sunny day, but the water's cold. So everything he's wearing is now soaking wet. His fishing rod, his fly rod, is broken. So he drags himself to the riverbed and is cursing. And as he packs up his stuff and walks back to his junk on 4 wheels, First World War, Second World War heap of machinery, he looks around and he's astonished and he's shocked at what he can see. He can see a pixie flying around very close to him, about 4 feet away. She's waving with her index finger. She says, "No more X-Lax and no more hot chocolate. You've been a bad boy, and that's why you're punished with a bathing in the water." And he stood there with his tongue open, his jaw dropped. And to my knowledge, he's never done it since. So, the moral of the story is, watch who you trick. The trick then may be placed upon you. I am SV Dagon. This is about Bob Gently and the Devious Pixie. If you're wondering why is it kept an eye on me, kept its distance, presented itself at the entrance of the stone wall, now it's in my flat, quite simply, yes, I'm a grey sorcerer. I am SV Dagon. I deal with demons, and yes, I use demons to do good and bad. You can only use a demon to perform a qualified and efficient exorcism. So, I'm SV Dagon. Enjoy.